George Maringa, KTN News.
Now moving on, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, continues to face credibility and trust shortfall only 2 weeks to the polls. Now among this is the controversy surrounding the arrest of 3 foreign nationals in possession of election material and key technological queries relating to timely transmission of presidential results, especially from areas without 3G or 4G network. But what really is the IEBC game plan and operational framework on election day to guarantee a free, fair and credible election? Morimi Mwangi with that spotlight on this week's House of Cards.
In a do-or-die battle for power, pitting Deputy President William Ruto, who is only a heartbeat away from the country's top seat, against veteran opposition leader, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, now on his 5th attempt at the job, emotions have been flaring up. And caught up in this crossfire has been the electoral referee, IEBC, confronted with weighty questions on the credibility of the polls.
Avoid listening too much to social media and fake news. We are here to answer your questions.
The latest IEBC saga with Directorate of Criminal Investigations George Kinoti over the controversial arrest of 3 foreign nationals in possession of electoral material, now piling more pressure on the commission, which only last week could not conclusively answer queries on the effectiveness and credibility of its electronic results transmission system. This week, IEBC is expected to conduct a demonstration at its industrial area warehouse of how it will deploy and use satellite modems across over 1,000 polling stations without 3G and 4G network, after failing to do so last week during its last simulation, to the dismay of poll agents and election observers. A number of poll agents seemingly also unconvinced that the IEBC had conclusively demonstrated how the result transmission system would behave when fed with fake documents or result declaration forms not originating from the commission.
What happens when the validation process is not successful? I think we were not informed what exactly would happen when a certain form comes and it lacks whatever it is that the system is looking out for.
Some of these things we had already anticipated. And that Form 34A from Station A is serialized.
Perhaps it might help if you simulated the sending of a false form. So that then because we are left only to believe that only the correct form can go through.
Even if we would have loved to send a full scope now, that particular machine will not send anything. So it's the way it is programmed, and it's also a way of trying to reduce on any manipulation.
So we want to see how successful they can be on this process, so that people can be able to begin to have a level of trust.
According to the IEBC, before a Form 34A is admitted into the portal, the system will confirm through security features on the document whether it originated from the IEBC, if the KMS kit used to send it belongs to the commission, and whether the SIM cards are registered to the IEBC and must be sanctioned by a presiding officer whose biometric identification, in this case a thumbprint, is pre-installed on the specific kit. However, figures transmitted through the system will only be used to tabulate provisional results. Upon sending an image of the Form 34A through the KMS kit, a presiding officer is expected to physically deliver the hard copy to the constituency returning officer. The RO is then to compile all the Forms 34A from the constituency and extract a Form 34B, being a tabulation of the total presidential tally in the constituency, and thereafter physically deliver the Form 34B and all the accompanying Forms 34A to the National Tallying Center, where the documents will undergo further verification before compilation of the final tally, to be announced by the Commission chairperson, who is also expected to declare a winner if a candidate meets the required threshold of 50% plus one vote, and at least 25% of all the presidential ballots cast in at least 24 of the 47 counties. But why the raging trust queries despite the elaborate result transmission and declaration protocol?
Even us, we took time to trust technology. Even these banks, they took time to phase out the ledgers. They took time to phase out the ledgers. The ledgers were physically there. So I don't blame Kenyans if they don't trust technology. But why? Again, our history. IEBC has missed elections before.
Elections have taken us to the brink of civil war as a country in 2007. So the work of this commission is very, very important. Yet, their work has been deliberately hampered. Lack of financing, openly being fought and everything. And then last minute, we push and we want them to produce magic.
Well, let's say in 14 days, Chebukati faces his final moment of redemption after the botched 2017 election and the latest string of poll credibility questions as the President Uhuru Kenyatta succession enters the final leg. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News.
Now, we just want to recap that unfortunate news that reached our studios in just a while.